What's up guys, and welcome back with some more Genshin Impact, and today we have a topic that I'd like to discuss. I typically don't do these type of videos of where we read articles about games and stuff, but this one particularly, I don't know, it struck me the wrong way, I guess you could say. So it says Genshin Impact developers talk endgame content and welcoming newcomers. So let me make this very clear right off the bat. I'm not somebody who, if this is your first time seeing the channel, I'm not somebody who hates Genshin or anything like that. I think the game right now is probably in one of the best states that it's been in a long time. Am I critical of this game? Oh, absolutely. I try to say everything down the middle and not sugarcoat anything, but I feel like they've been doing better, and this story is good. With Sumeru, everything's well paced right now. It's seeming even better than Inazuma, honestly, with the pacing. But this specifically talks about endgame content. So it says here, we spoke with the developers behind Genshin Impact to learn more about what's coming after version 3.1. And if you look over here, it says the Genshin 3.1 update has recently went live, and with it came the chance to speak with hoyoverse's developers over email to gain insight into the team's plans for the future. We asked about endgame content, resin caps, costumes. Yeah, if you've been here before, you know that one of the main things I complain about this game is the lack of outfits. It drives me insane, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, but they, you link they only link the outfits with storyline stuff." Listen, there's too many characters to be doing that every single time. You know how many other games you got out here dropping skins every patch, and this game makes millions upon millions more than those games? Come on. Anyways, so yeah, costumes and more. And their responses, the developers touch on what's currently being worked on, as well as potential ideas for future updates. Currently, the Spiral Abyss is the only true endgame content for players at high adventure ranks. Are there any new plans to release new permanent endgame content in the same vein as Spiral Abyss? Something that I've discussed before about this game, of how it would feel, and let me make this very clear before I even look at the answer for this. I think it would be cool to have other stuff to do, like how they have in Honkai Impact 3rd. They could do the same stuff in Genshin with different modes, so you could use your strong characters. I don't think you need to be a whale, or anything even close to a whale, in order to, enjoy using your characters that you've been building for a long time, that you've been investing into it for a long time, I feel like that's a pretty normal thing. My logic is, if you don't want to play something that's going to be difficult, like a mode that's going to be more difficult, you don't have to do it. But for players that have been playing for months or a year, what was it, a year or more now, almost 2 years, right? I feel like a player like me, for instance, I'd like to see what my units could do that I have stronger, and see them get through specific challenges, get cool rewards and stuff like that. That'd be nice. It'd feel rewarding to get something back for putting time into the game. Does that make sense? If you think that's too difficult and it's not something you don't want to do, you don't have to do it. You're not forced to. You can sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. That's completely fine. You should be able to play how you want to play, but you shouldn't limit how other people want to play the game also. And if they want new modes to test their units, because all we have is Abyss to really test the units. Anything else in the game is boom, we speed through stuff easy. You know what I mean? And I know not everybody is like that. Not everybody is going to be like that. But I know a good amount of the player base will beat the hell out of just normal bosses and stuff like that. I'm not saying I'm a player who gets through the Abyss oh yeah, this is the easiest thing in the world every time, because no, floor 12 gets challenging still at times and stuff. But I'd like to do other modes and stuff too. That'd be cool. So that's what I'd like to say. Because I'm by no means a whale in this game. No, I would definitely not say that. But let's see the answer here. It says the Spiral Abyss is one of the most effective ways for players to test out their party composition and combat strength. If we design another type of permanent endgame that is similar to Spiral Abyss, it might end up creating excessive anxiety for our players, and not everyone is interested in Musgrave. So the reason that you won't give us other modes that we could test our units is because you feel like it would be too stressful and create anxiety? Do you know what type of game that you guys make? You make a gacha game. A game where people are virtually gambling, if you want to break it down like that. I would think that that would be more stressful, of wanting to win a 50-50 or something, or hoping you get the character you want before they disappear, or if you put money into the game really hoping that you get the character or the weapon you want. If you want to talk about stressful, we could talk about the weapon banner. That's stressful. Like, putting a mode just for your players that, like, you know, have some stronger units, so they want to just test out different teams and stuff, you should have that option also. I think there should be stuff for the very casual players, the normal ones, and the hardcore. And I feel like this option maybe it isn't only necessarily like hardcore. I'd say it's for like people that are at the normal option also. Like, the way that I play Genshin, I'd say is at like the normal level right now, but even I would think, hey, it's cool to do this, have another mode in there other than the Abyss, get some nice rewards and stuff. Maybe you get a cool glider or something. Maybe you get a skin for a character. You have a set, like you give, like it'd be really cool if you had a set amount of characters that, hey, you beat this mode, you get to choose one skin for that character or something. That would be nice. That would be pretty cool, you know? But then people are gonna be like, oh, but it's too stressful, I can't beat it. Listen, dude. If you out here playing this game for months, maybe even years now, and you don't have one decent team, I don't know what to tell you, okay? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. All right, it's one thing. Like, what I don't want the people that play this game like let's say like once a month, maybe like once a week, twice a week or something like that, saying, oh, I can't do this. Like, dude, then it is what it is. It's not meant for you then at that point. You know, you still are able to enjoy Archon quests, whatever the case is. But for the people that play the game, let's say on a normal basis or even on a higher basis, we should have other stuff we could do too. We shouldn't have to not get cool new stuff just because, oh, Tommy over here play Genshin once a week and he's mad that he can't get the skin. Dude, you weren't gonna play the game anyways. Doesn't make sense. So that's my opinion on the matter. Anyways, let's just get back to this. Just like the Genius Invocation TCG that we unveiled in the special program for 3.2, we are also working on designing more interesting gameplay in the future, but not to test our characters. You're putting in a card game into Genshin, but not stuff of where we use our actual characters. Yes. As an open world, Genshin Impact has a natural compatibility with various types of gameplay, which gives us confidence in a long-term operation. Yeah, okay. Which, me personally, I mean, maybe some people are excited for the card game. I don't know. Me personally, I'm not really going to be crazy about it. It's sort of whatever to me. I'm more focused on the stuff that you actually do with your characters. Like I said, literally, Honkai Impact 3rd has other modes that you could test your characters and stuff. Like, it's there. And even then, there's easier versions of that, so if people want to do easier versions, they could do that, you know? Anyways, Genshin Impact is going into year 2 with an ever-expanding roster. Some older characters might get left behind as power creep settles in, and newer characters become much stronger choices. Is there a plan in place to potentially upgrade older characters and make them more viable? That's a good question. They don't really do that anymore, huh? They did that, like, with the first few characters, I don't know, like Zhongli and stuff when he first came out, didn't they buff him and stuff? But they don't really do that anymore, as far as I know, unless there's, like, a bug with the character they have to fix, but they don't straight up, like, buff characters anymore, yeah? It says, if a character is only assessed by a single dimension of numerical strength, power creep could become an issue. However, in Genshin Impact, the rules of gameplay are more impactful than how strong a character is. Therefore, new battlegrounds, new challenge levels, or even new team builds all have potential to bring new life to existing content. Let me skim through this again. So you just basically said that you basically just said, all right, you just use different characters. Basically, is that what I'm getting from this? Or just, okay, yeah, new battlegrounds, new challenge levels, or even new team builds have potential. So you're saying just mix stuff around and it will make the unit better. I mean, I believe in, like, okay, I'll say this. I believe that to a certain extent. Yeah, there's older units and stuff that you could you could mess with and like put them with different teammates and stuff, and it'll make them better. Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, will there be units as time goes on that will just get really like oof at the same time? I feel like so. I feel like that is something that is and like valid. That's the word I was looking for. Valid to bring up. Like, I can't think of a character off the top of my head, but I'm sure you guys in the comments below, you could probably think of some characters that would need a buff that could be better. Like, I know before Kokomi's artifact set came out, she was a character that could be better, even though I'm a big Kokomi fan and I got her before the artifact set came out, you know? Because I'm sure there's some characters like that could use a buff. So I think just completely exiting out the idea of a buff isn't the best idea, but at the same time, you don't want to be buffing every character, but I'm sure there is some. I just don't want to speak on a character and say a random name when I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I'm very sure there is. Okay. The introduction of Dendro has created plenty of new ways to cause elemental reactions, but some elements have been left out. Has there been any discussion regarding the addition of new reactions for existing elements, for example, in the future? Could there be a new Geo and Dendro reaction? Oh yeah, because does Geo and Dendro do stuff? Isn't that what people are complaining about? Isn't that something people complain about all the time, that Geo just doesn't do much? I feel like I've heard people complain about that. We have no such plans for the time being. With the release of the Dendro element, the 7-element system has become somewhat complex. For us, there are other ways to increase the fun for players, rather than simply increasing the complexity of game rules. With easy and open rules, given some time, players will come to discover their own ways of developing builds. That is the fun of the game. The balancing of all gameplay rules is part of the team's long-term design focus, plus the team's experience and learning from player feedback in the long run are important to maintain that focus. So basically, you asked if we're gonna get like more like new reactions, and then they said, yeah, there's other ways for us to make the game fun for players instead of making it more complicated. Okay. I mean, let me say this once again. I'm very happy with the state of Genshin. I feel like they've been doing better. But sometimes when I read some of this stuff, I'm just like, okay. I mean, it'd be cool for Geo to be more useful with other stuff. That would be nice. You know, Geo characters I enjoy, but okay, Genshin, sure. Let's see here, and y'all will have to let me know in the comment section down below what you think about all this as I go on. The world of Tevat continues to expand, giving players so many more challenges to complete daily domains, bosses, ley lines. Is there a chance that we see a cap for the original Resin or quicker regen rate to allow players to take on more of these challenges each day? With all the stuff that's in this game, and especially for the fact that, I mean, let's face it, we're about to get another weekly boss pretty soon. Like, if you've looked at the trailers for the, you know, this current Genshin update, you see Scaramouche there. It's very obvious to everybody and their mother, we're getting a Scaramouche boss fight. That's even more resin that you have to spend. So before I even read what this answer is once again, that's something we should get. Whether they make the stuff cheaper, whether the regen goes up, or they just give us more resin. It needs to be one of those three options. Because there's just more and more stuff to do. And not enough resources to be able to do that. So, yeah, that, especially with the new region, I feel like this, like, I was surprised that we didn't get a resin increase, like, right when the update came out for 3.0, to be honest with you. So the fact that we're in 3.1 right now, going to be in 3.2, like it was next month or something like that. I don't know the exact timetable on that. Would it be maybe end of this month, something like that? And we don't have an increased resin cap. It's sort of crazy. So, yeah. Domains, bosses, and ley lines are important means to farm character and weapon ascension materials, and resins are required to claim these items as rewards. Yes, thank you. Thank you for telling me that. Meanwhile, we're also providing more options for gamers to obtain character development items. For example, many character and weapon ascension materials may be redeemed from events we run periodically. So, you basically just said, you explained to us what we need resin for when we already knew. And then You're telling us we could do if we just do the events, we'll be alright? Because you're gonna give us weapon ascension materials? What about when you're trying to grind for artifacts and you need some resin? You're doing your weekly bosses, and there's quite a bit of weekly bosses now. What if you need to fight the other bosses that you need for like some to upgrade your character? They don't give that from events. That wasn't a really good answer. That was a pretty like they literally just avoided the question. That was bad. I don't know. I'd have to check who specifically was answering these questions, but I just feel like the way that these are being answered is it's not the best. It sort of just leaves you just like, you're just avoiding everything? But okay, my guy. New players have been a bit lost when starting the Summertime Odyssey event because they missed Fischl and Mona's first introductions. I did too, because I wasn't playing the game when it first came out. I played it a few months later. Yeah, it was a little bit later. Because they missed Fischl and Mona's first introductions. Yeah. Okay. So this also happened when Scaramouche showed up in Inazuma's Archon quest after appearing in limited time Mondstadt event. Is the team considering adding a way for new players to see or replay old story-related content and cutscenes that only existed in past time events? They need to do something about this desperately, because when somebody new comes into the game, they're confused as hell. When people come back after taking a break from the game, they're confused as hell. I don't understand why for main story content and stuff. Okay, well, let me say not main story. Okay, I won't say main story because you can do that anytime, but for events in this game, and maybe even for main story stuff with like cutscenes and stuff, why isn't there some form of an archive like they have in Honkai? Honkai Impact 3rd, which I'm using as an example because it's another hoyoverse game, they legitimately have an archive for cutscenes in the game. That is something that they have, so you could go and see all that stuff if you want to. They have the past, like there is like chronicles and stuff, like different types of missions that they had that you could go back and go do if you never got the chance to do them. They need to at least have some type of system of, even if you're not going to bring the event back or keep them there on the side without like, I think they could probably do something of where you could do the event but maybe just not get the rewards, so that way people feel the need to do the event if they're trying to keep, because I'm sure they're trying to keep it that way. So basically, let's say Summertime Odyssey or whatever it's called, Golden Apple Archipelago, something, right? You want to do the event. You missed out on it. You could go back, you could do the story for it, you just won't get the rewards for it because you weren't there when it was live. Because I'm sure, and the only reason that I even say it like that is because I already know that's likely how they would do that. They're not gonna put the rewards with it, because then they're gonna be like, what's the purpose of somebody playing our game actively if they could just wait months later to do the thing or something? Like, do you get what I mean? So I'm thinking of it from their standpoint. That's how I feel like they would do it. So it's like, we need some type of way to get people updated and acquainted with characters and stuff. So there needs to be some type of archive or something for all this stuff. And it would be really cool for them to have that for like main story cutscenes and stuff like that. That'd be nice. Because once you finish something, the only way you could go back is if you go look it up. Luckily for me, when I do this stuff, I have my videos and stuff, so I could go back and watch it there. But not everybody, has that luxury of doing that, So, it's very different. Okay. So we're aware of this issue and are looking into solutions for it. On one hand, stories from limited time events shall never become barriers to understanding and playing Archon quests. Wasn't it for Scaramouche? Wasn't it? Because people didn't even know who he was? And they met him in an event, so didn't you just... That's wrong, what you just said. They shall never become barriers to understanding and playing Archon quests. They legit said it in the question. On the other hand, we're working beginner tutorial adjustments, client capacity optimization, intelligent management of past content. Yeah, I hope so. And other optimizations. As our technology and capacity grow, we hope to have useful solutions that players welcome. Okay, so you're working on something, that's what you're trying to say here, but you legit just lied when they just mentioned an instance, but you're doing great. Costumes were added to the game last year, providing new, stylish looks for some characters. How likely is it that the Traveler becomes a recipient of one of these costumes? It would be interesting to see the Traveler in clothing that represents the regions they enter on their journey. I've said this a million times before, talking about the Traveler getting clothes. Everybody else has too. Getting new outfits. They even teased it in Inazuma to spit in our face. They teased it, and then they didn't do it. So they did us dirty. Really dirty. So yeah, I'd love to get that. I'd love to get more outfits, the better. It makes it fun. It's something as simple as getting an outfit for a character you like in the game makes the game a lot funner. It just makes your brain happy, honestly. Let's see here. It's an intriguing idea to design outfits and accessories with regional characteristics for the Traveler. We don't have anything to share on that front, but we're always considering new ideas. How they didn't do this is one of the biggest fumbles of the bag I've seen for them. Like, the Traveler literally should have been getting a new outfit each time in each region. It's baffling that he didn't. It really, really is baffling. Like, they've already been fumbling that. And that goes into, once again, just the lack of outfits that we have in this game. Like, when they drop new outfits, they look amazing, but I know they connect it to story missions. But once again, there's too many characters in this game to be waiting every 4 updates until you finally drop 2 skins again. Like, it's just ridiculous. And for a company that you know they love getting their money, you would think that they would be dropping skins more often. Because Honkai does it, and they drop new skins every update, high quality, and this game makes more money than Honkai by a long shot. So it just doesn't make sense to me. That's why with some of these decisions in this game, it sort of baffles me. Like, my brain is just like, huh? Like, when am I gonna get a Hoot House skin? Should I even be thinking about that? At the rate we're going, I'll probably get one maybe next year, of how slow they're going with the rate of the skins. It's ridiculous. Like, people want new cool things for their characters, dude. It's not rocket science, and you'll make a bunch of money off of it. And you have the resources and the money to do it, no problem. Like, it'd be different if this game made a lot less money and it was like a smaller team, but no, you're filthy rich. You're literally filthy rich. Don't give me this, oh, it's only for the story stuff. Listen, you could still do the skins for the story, but give us other character skins too. Like, for the summertime, a bunch of characters should have got summer skins. Just in general. They don't have to be in the story. Like, give me the damn, they don't gotta be in the story. Just give me this freaking summer skin. You'd been making bank. I see all these fan designs and stuff. I see the outfits they have for the Genshin concerts and stuff, but we don't get it as skins. I don't know. I'll be complaining about this forever. Oh, Lord. As a follow-up to the previous question, Ether and Lamine could get little fun accessories during certain quests. Like a mask or a flower crown, but they only could be worn for short periods of time. Have you ever considered turning these temporary accessories into permanent cosmetics? We've been discussing this question with the team and some other ideas similar to it, however, we don't have any news or details in real time. So, we're not getting skins for the Traveler, but we're getting accessories for them. Like some cosmetics, that's what they're talking about. Just give us the region skins. Listen, I already know it's late for that, but make a mission happen in freaking Liyue, and we're doing something. Hey, take this outfit. Do one in Inazuma. Hey, you get this kimono, and then in Sumeru have an outfit too. You could still do it. Just make a story. If you want to do stories with the freaking outfits, do a story with it. Okay, if you want to do that. Jesus. I'm sorry, they'd be pissing me off. All right. Anyways, last thing here, right? On top of Genshin Impact, hoyoverse is working on they've been working on Honkai for years, yes. Zenless Zone Zero, yep. And let's see, Honkai Star Rail. There's been a crossover between Genshin and Honkai in the past where Qing and Fischl arrived in Honkai. Yes, Fischl is incredibly fun in Honkai. Are there any plans to do the reverse and bring characters from Honkai into Genshin? Yeah. You only did one collab, and that was with Horizon Zero Dawn. As much as I love that game, that collab flopped horribly. That was bad. It was really bad. I'm biased. I want a damn Persona freaking collab, but, that's just me. Anyways, like, a Demon Slayer one with Genshin would be sick. I honestly forgot that they ever even did the collaboration until I read this again. Like, I would have loved a Demon Slayer, and they can still do it. Do a Demon Slayer collab. There's so many things you could do. That'd be awesome, dude. Like, there's so much more that they could do with this game and hit other next levels. And I know people might not like the example I'm about to use, but from a money standpoint and just popularity standpoint, I'm going to use this for instance. Let's talk about Fortnite for a second. You know why Fortnite's at the level that it got to? Even though it's not at its peak anymore, but the levels of where it stays relevant, because they add characters and collaborations and all that. I'm not saying that Genshin needs to turn into a collaboration circus or something. I'm not saying they got to be, doing the Orange Justice in Genshin. No, that's not what I'm saying. But from a collaboration standpoint, you know how many cool animes and stuff that you could collab with and do it in a respectful way that does it right to the fans, and it would be amazing. Like, they did it. Didn't they do it with freaking Honkai and forgive me if I say the name of the anime wrong, but was it Evangelion, I believe? It's something like that, but they did a collab with that. Look, once again, I haven't watched the anime. I know it's like an older anime, it's a classic, so my fault. But I know they did a collab there, and they did it in a cool way, and you had the character from there. So I'm like, I know Genshin could do that with some of the new stuff. Like, make it make sense. Demon Slayer works, sword character. You could make them elemental. Put freaking Tanjiro with them. Just freaking do it. Just do it. It'd be cool. It'd be really cool. So, I don't know, guys. We'll have to see if there's new opportunities for crossovers in the future. We will be sure to share them. Yeah, well, I hope so, because I'm sure there's so many different companies and stuff. And you know what's crazy that I thought about? The Genshin anime is made by the people who animated Demon Slayer. I'm just saying. I'm gonna have some copium, hope for the best. But yeah, in the comment section down below, let me know what you guys thought. This video went longer than I thought it was gonna go, but I really just wanted to talk about the state of the game and stuff. Like I said, I enjoy the state that the game's in right now. I think they're doing a great job. Sumeru's beautiful. The story, the writing and stuff has gotten so much better, and the pacing is excellent. It's just, if we're talking about the things that could get better about the game, like plenty of the things here were mentioned, and they sort of avoided the questions, like, for a decent amount of these, so that's sort of concerning. But at the same time, hey, maybe they're just hiding the information, and they are working on this stuff, but they just want to stay hush hush. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed this video and want to see me do more like these in the future. Let me know. Hit that like button, subscribe, whether you agree or disagree with me. Let's just keep it in a civilized manner, alright? We don't need to be like the Genshin Twitter people. We could be cool with each other, alright? So other than that, check out the Genshin playlist. I did the Archon quest, Sino story quest. I check out Genshin meme videos, all that good stuff. Discord server, description box below this video. You could follow me on social media also in the description box below. All that good stuff. But until the next one, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Stay safe. Hit that notification bell. And as always, don't do crack.
Be sure to subscribe to the Special K experience if you enjoyed this video. If not, you're going to Femboy IHOP.